when we reach scientific levels in communications, it's truly understanding everything through plasmas, web graphings, modulation, stations. We use the ground and everything through that connection system, understanding the diamond core positions. You go north, west, south, east, right? And you go all the way up through connection. So it's all about forming to higher levels divisions of nature core direction. It's really interesting because I went through the connections right now. I get so much data through formations of my mind system. I see the XT1000s and everything through the scanning positions. They come in, they do their job, and they leave. That's the whole position. That's what they're here. That's why they're here, to detect higher levels. So it's kind of like mixtures of chemistry systems and understand the geometry system, understanding everything through communication when it comes into the grounds. When it comes into anything through mountains, you have to understand why we have mountains. You have to understand why we have volcanoes. Okay, everything is put in position for reasons. So it's understanding more communications. So we're high-rising more of divisional panels, activation lights, communication and energy hub. I've drawn out an illustration into the future to show you how powerful what's going on with the Earth and the surface and how it's going through modulations. It's going through a simulation, a redirection path when it comes into the chakra system. Okay, not everybody through human connection system to human identity only has a chakra system. Mountains have a chakra system. Everything through volcanoes. Why do you think it erupts? You have to understand the time of its eruption. You have to understand the coloration of its eruption. Same with mountains. You know, why they have frost tips at the top. You have to understand the communications of the grounds. You have to understand the altitude levels. You have to understand the oxygen levels. So we're coming into so many powerful connections. So your commander is changing the simulation of the modulation of the planes to the ground formation system. So I got to set up the Earth core positions because the simulation is coming on a redirection path, and the simulation of the Earth is going into the fifth dimensional system. So the cycle rotation and the solar systems connected up to that connection system. I set up new shapes anomalies, going through 3 levels of box code frequencies. Now that's connection to higher force connections. When you reach those dimensional settings, you use your sentient view connections. But you have to understand how to use your atom connections to your solar graphs or anything through your perception, right? It's your perception, your audios, and everything from the mind frequency levels and voicing your pattern. It activates all light signals through connection system. So before I get started, thank you all subscribers and viewers who's been watching my channel. I really appreciate you subscribing, giving out information, sharing. That's what we want to do. We want to share all this information. But it's not just information, it's life information. There's a difference. Giving somebody information is exciting, but understanding it's life information, it's totally different transformation and manifestation, guys. And if you want to go through my healing, open up your 12 cycle rotations, and you'll see everything through nature. Your clarity vision will change. You'll see the lights, you'll see the golden rounds, you'll see the light transformation, you'll see your body changing through transformation. You'll see everything through adaptation cycle change. Okay, your hair will change, your follicles of your hairs will change, your dietary system change, your eyes change, everything through your complexion, everything through all levels. It's all about understanding how to get into your light. Okay, now this is a backphrasing video, but this is more for viewers that are truly understanding that if you understand yourself more, you understand intelligence more. Okay, so I want to bring that to everybody's attention. But other than that, it's very powerful how we come into connections of mountains and volcanoes and why we use XT1000 positions. We use the XT1000 so they can platitude to different locations, right? Everything through has its identity, force, cloak, and dagger. Okay, we have our protection, we have our lights, we have our plasmas, we have our webs. Everybody seen that right in the atmosphere system. When you see it up really close, you actually see the plasma going like this, okay, in the atmospheres. You don't see it, but I do. So what it's doing is, okay, why is it doing this? So you have to understand what it's doing through the atmosphere system. It has its points, it has its division, it has its coloration, it has its activation. It knows what it's doing. Okay, it's like with a spider web. You know, a spider, it's amazing how they create their own webs, right? And they lure their flies in or anything through its habitat to eat. It's really powerful how we come into nature. Nature is everything. Nature's created through its core of its resistance, but you understand everything through nature has its own vibration. It's created through its modulations of the simulation. Okay, So once you come into the digital frame of yourself, you understand more of your holographic systems. You walk the center earth of a mountain or anything through a volcano. You know exactly if it's going to erupt. You know exactly if it's going to go through connections of anything, force recognition. I got an archetype flowing right by me now. So the space connection line systems to everything through activation is everything through laser direction of a pyramid system. And we connect to all connections, right? So even though a pyramid is not a mountain, it is a mountain of a kingdom. It is a mountain of gold. It is a mountain of Egyptians. Okay, so if you understand that, you understand the interface connections and how everything has to be platitude through its connection. So I set up an illustration to show you how powerful it is. When you see this activation, it's extremely real. And my force team will connect through that activation light system because they're connecting to the retrogrades of their holographic system. It's high rise and everything through their positions. So it's important you guys understand the light signals, communication, fragmentation systems, everything to that connection. Now, my computer operations center is connected on so many waving cycles of positions. It opens up everything through that division. Okay. So basically, if you understand your positions and where you are through connection, you're going to understand traction positions. Okay. Because it surfaces and surfaces on so many levels of direction. So it's all about your GPS location system. It's all about your transformation light system. It's all about your simulation. It's all about your chakra system, understanding line communications of a mountain or anything through a volcano or anything through grounds. We all have to be grounded. Okay, so it's kind of like the earth communicating with the mountains. So all this operation is set up on all countries of mountains, grounds, and volcanoes. And everything is lined by extremely fast. So the vibrational system, the earth changes its coloration, attraction is position, and basically I've set up an interface of a mountain. It looks really, really cool. And you got 4 divisional levels in XT1000. So you got the laser connection, the sonars coming in, okay? And now you got the coloration graph coming into the digital frame. It's really interesting when you see the illustration. And then you have an energy hub, okay? Energy hub basically center course the position of the mountain and everything through its volcano. Okay, so it's understanding everything has its nature of its core resistance, but you understand that we have to take the mountains and the volcanoes out of its dimension because you have to understand it can't live in the 5th dimensional system. It has to be a higher level of connection because a volcano, when it erupts, okay, it is no longer in the physical of its dimensions, okay, of its grounds. Okay, it's in a higher dimensional system. So when it erupts, lava comes out, right? So you have to understand the behavioral systems of volcanoes and mountains and why it's important. I don't know if anybody has climbed a mountain before, but when you climb like Mount Everest, we've been there. We've been to Mount Everest. And it's extremely, extremely high altitude of a mountain. Okay, it's got its frost tips, it's got its atmospheres. The atmospheres, everything, the oxygen changes. And then you can't breathe, right? Because now you're coming out of the A1 surface and you're coming into the space connection of atmosphere system. Okay, so the particle changes, your body structure changes, and it starts to implode inside through oxygen levels. So when you're in space, you have to make sure you're protected with your lights. So every time you travel through the mind, you have to understand that when you travel through the mind, you're going through and out of your physical system. Okay, but the platitude location is you in the system, which means that your body system of your human vibration stays on the earth, but the mind and everything through the brain is set up. Okay, so it's truly understanding. Put your thoughts, like I said, thought visualizer, use that through creation, center its position. It's already created in its mind system through its thought. So you got the coloration, you got the lights, you got the pixels, and you got everything through connection. So you're formulating your own avatar through connections. It could be a figurine, it could be anything through a connection of a spaceship, it could be space identify, it could be an electrical fence, it could be anything through connection. It can be anything through drawing, but your thoughts travel so far into connections, and it travels your voice of grid patterns to its connection of its nature core, and that's where it comes into its full resistance. Okay, so as we come into that, when you see this illustration, you'll be blown away because it's extremely activated and it's extremely real and it's in the future. So everything I do, okay, is done in the future, but I present to you in the present as you know it, see it in the past. So it's all about understanding everything that's going on, right, with humanity and everything through the 5-dimensional system that they understand through calculation. If they understand their activation cycles, once you go through your manifestations, you're metamorphosing into a body adaptation. You're coming into a new modulation of yourself, simulation, okay? You're coming into calculations, you're coming into digitals, you're coming into more of yourself, understanding, okay, and now I'm awake and I'm seeing a planet. What does that mean? I'm seeing a planet. I just saw a UFO, right? Everybody sees UFOs more than ever now, right? So everything through its atmosphere system is now in its system through its connection of a space atmosphere system. So it's coming out of the hemisphere into the stratospheres. Okay, so when the Earth rises, humanity rises. So if that rises, everything through the mountains and volcanoes and grounds have to rise. The platitude divisions of the simulation can't be in that location position. It has to be higher than everything through its connection. So line signals everything through channel operation centers, and then the mountains are connected to tunnel interfaces. Okay, so we have a tunnel, right? And it protects everything through line communication. We use the XT1000s for platitude divisions. We have space stations and mountains and space stations and volcanoes. And I say, well, wait a minute, Commander, you're saying that there's spaceships in a volcano. What if it erupts? These are the questions that you want to ask yourself. Well, the thing is, too, is that understanding the volcano has a ground, right? So you have a volcano, you have the base, right? It's like a tree, right? When it starts growing. So it has its stem, but it has its ground. So it goes underneath, underneath, and it goes 1,600 feet under the ground, okay? Everything surfaces. You understand the sun of its portal, okay, is its connection. Everything is connected to its grounds of its volcanoes and everything through its mountains, because the sun is its connection through its holographic system. So when the XT1000's platitude, okay, they come out of the surface and into the sun rotation center. So it's really complicated stuff. So it's kind of like, instead of going up, they go down. So when they're going down, right, it's understanding the gravity system, understanding the moistures, it's understanding the mixtures, understanding how to go through. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Core. I've said that before, how they had a vibranium of a metal of a tube, and they had to basically save the Earth because the Earth stopped rotating, right? So they had to basically go through the plasmas and everything through liquid formation. They went into the crystals and they went into airspace and all that. That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is. You go through so many layers of heat through the Earth, but the only way to do that is to go into the waters. Okay, you don't go up, you have to go into the waters because you're surfacing into the center core of the Earth. That's how you get there, right? And I know that because I've been into the center of the Earth. I know that because I've been in the center of the eye of the sun and everything through the moon. I've been everywhere in the center. That's where you come into formation. That's where you come into your sentient. That's where you come into your avatar or anything through your higher self or anything through your computer of operations or anything through your atoms. Okay. So it's really powerful when we see these things. It's extremely amazing because the XT1000 platitudes are levels and opens our program settings every time we go through a dream set positions. Okay. It's incredible force. It really is. So I'm going to show you the activation lights and everything through its program, through its energy hubs, the plasma webs and everything in that connection system. Okay, point view and show you exactly what's going on with this picture resolution. Okay, the more you understand that, the more you get calculated and modified right through its connections. Okay, so here we go. All right, so when you see this, now it's extremely activated. Okay, I set it up through coordinates. I've set it up through codes. I did an encryption, okay, encryption through its code frequency, changing all line communications of code references to its code frequency to its embedding, okay, through its copy and paste. Its linking location through its processing, downloads, and upgrading systems. It calculates and modifies, guys. So when you see the energy hub is activated, because the circle rotating center and its gravity system through electrical wires is activated, everything through the magnetic forcing highway is activated. And you see the XT1000's positions, okay? And then everything through connection. You're going to see Jupiter rising through connections, and you're going to see everything through the platitude division of another connection of a planet position. Now, this is in a galaxy location. So it's truly understanding how to take higher levels of vibrations of mountains, of volcanoes, into higher divisions into simulation. So basically, we're taking all the mountains and grounds and everything through volcanoes, everything through formation of all country systems, and put them into a new modulation of a stepping location in the simulation. Okay, so it's all about taking the Earth out of its equation, right? I mean, it's all about high rising. That's all it is. But you understand the dimensional setting and its plasma and its webs and its holographics. It's incredible when you come into this information system. Okay, so I'll show you the illustration. Okay, so when you take a look at this, you understand, wow, this is cool. All right. Now, this is interesting. See the XD 1000 positions, see the laser direction positions, see the hub locations, the electronic interference of the ground formation system. You see the mountain interface, see the mountains, the line communications, 4 waving cycle positions. You got the magnetic force and highway information system, setting up graphing locations to new program settings, okay? So the XD1000s know what they're doing through position, okay? And then you got Jupiter rising, and you get another planet position on a galaxy location, okay? So that's a Galaxy X1, okay, Galaxy X1. That's the name of the planet position. So everything is platitude in my mind system through calculation, modifies everything through its past, present, and its future connection system. But it shows you how powerful it is when you come into its connections. So it's all about changing the grounds. It's all about understanding the powers and the center of its position through the tracker system of its mountains or anything through a volcano connection. So it uses laser directions and 4-point line communications, right? Changes everything through its graphing position of its mountain interface, right? But it's incredible force when you see these things. So you want to screenshot that, go right ahead. It's incredible, isn't it? It really is amazing. So I just wanted to show you what it is through modifications once you get into that point location. So, and this is all done in the future of its connection. So if you notice, you can see here, see these lines right here that goes up? Okay, these are the mountains. Okay. Now there's 4-point line communication, XT1000 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got the magnetic forcing highway. You got the electrical rods going into each calculation through its program setting. Okay, now basically you have to understand what's going on right now when it comes to its electrical wire loop line communication. So it's all connected to the magnetic forcing highway information system. It goes into the center position, okay, into the grounds, okay, and opens up a tunnel division location position. This is where we set up new operations of computers into the simulation. So we take the old modulation system out of mountains and volcanoes, and we put new ones in, okay? It's like me changing the DNA of the Earth. Well, I'm doing the same thing with all grounds of all countries, all positions, to all weather, to all galaxy positions. You have Jupiter and you have everything through the galaxy 1 position. It's really interesting when you see these things through modifications, but you understand the grounds and everything through circle rotations. How many times does it spin around, right? Why we have crop circles, why we have crop cycles, all connects everything through the energy hub location, through its plasma energy system, okay? So calculation modifies into protection line communications. The Palladians set this up through connections. Okay, the Palladians set this up through connections. Remember, they are the connection of the Earth. They set up the plasmas and everything through recognition lights. They set up everything through its planet position, through its connection. But it's amazing how we see these things through modification. All right. So Tina, how's it going? I'll just show you that one more time. This is the illustration that I set up today. This is the future. So you see the XT1000 positions, you see the laser connection system. It looks like cones, right? But see what it's doing is it's changing everything into a program setting. It's coming from the magnetic force and highway information system. 1, 2, 3, 4. It activates its program setting through communication of simulation of Jupiter and everything through its galaxy 1. Okay, its position. So you have the galaxy in its location position. Now, this is the future. Now I'm going to go into the future. So this is how things are done into calculation. So modifies and puts everything back in the 5th dimensional system. The Earth is on its standing, which I understand is code references. I understand my voicing pattern communicates to my body modulation and its simulation core. Right, it's the center position through your chakra location of communication. All right, so we're going to electrify the location positions. Okay, through its direction. Okay. All right, so when it goes into its division of its direction, going to calculation modulation systems here. Okay, so as we come into those connections, going to electrify the light communication, light signals, to its program setting. This is going to alert everything through planet positions and all connections. So it's kind of like understanding you got 4 mountain interface connection system, frost tips, everything through Arctic levels. So when I do this, everything through the Earth has a full reaction of its waters, of its oceans, of its lakes. Okay, so it's amazing how we come into an illustration like this through calculation. All right, so as we do that, the electrical wires in its conditional system comes into modification. It goes into the center position, okay? Because it's activating everything through its connections, right? So it's all about electrifying everything. And we have the energy hub, so it doesn't interference. So if that cracks or anything like that, that changes the position of the mountains and the volcano positions. So we got to make sure that we use energy plasmas, okay? And everything through the Palladians know exactly what they're doing through calculation. They set up the energy hubs, right? I calculate, modify, and set up the energy grids. So it's understanding everything through the grounds and the power center and everything through the energy hub is plasma. Everything is calculated, modified, like I said. So you have a laser direction that goes up through electrical system, right to the magnetic force and highway information system, right? So it modifies and it goes into circle rotation like this. Okay, it opens up its light sky, all right? So when it does that, it tracks locations and positions, okay? It illuminates its light sky, okay? Now everything through calculations and modifications coming in through cycle rotation centers, right? So it goes back into its division. So it's a wind tunnel through connection of a tornado activation light system. The weather connection changes everything through the correlation panel activation core system. So here we go. Okay, so it stops there, right? So we can't break the energy hub, okay, until we understand the communications. So I got to get modification cycles into code references, the encryption logbook connections through the code, and everything through the metric line communication systems of the mountains and the volcano connection systems. Allocated positions, calculations are coming in. License lines are in direction, plasma energy force system, confirmation system, Palladians. All right, everything's coming in. Now we can come into the force recognition system. So the allocated position is understanding higher force connections of plasmas, guys. Let's truly understand where you're coming in through calculated modification. All right. So basically, now I can go through the center position. I can go inside now, right? So it's all about getting confirmations. So once you get that through its modification, right? This is what happens. All the electrical light system changes everything through program setting, okay? So here we go. It activates and changes the ground formation systems into the green circling rotation. Center its position and gets into communication. Everything's in a coloration system now through traction location. Okay. So now it's fully activated, right, through the mountains, everything through the high forces and everything through high vibration. The encrypting levels and the code frequencies, the galaxy positions. Galaxy 1 is now center positions. Everything through Jupiter is coming into simulation. So we get into communications of telepathy systems, okay, of Jupiter and everything through Galaxy 1. Okay. So we get that modification cycle. All right, so we get one communication to another. They communicate. All right, so they're communicating with each other now, right? So Jupiter comes into traction position, light signals its channel operation centers. Full rotation, understand its identification code system. All right, so basically this is where it comes into the center core position, goes into the magnetic force and highway information, changes coloration system. Okay, it's all about communication, guys. You have to communicate with everything. Jupiter has to communicate with Galaxy 1. Galaxy 1 has to communicate with everything through the mountains, everything through the volcanoes, everything through plasma, everything Palladians, everything through plasma, everything through encrypting, everything through code. You have to understand the ground formations and everything through center core position of the system. So it's calculated and modified to go up to a higher vibrational system, right? It's amazing how we see these things. All right. So that changes the laser direction of the ground formation system. That puts the mountains and everything through volcanoes and everything through grounds of all country systems in all states and all positions into higher communication levels. Okay. So it looks like that through calculation. It's really fascinating if you look at these things, right? It's pretty powerful stuff. It's pretty incredible, isn't it? What I just finished doing. Okay. So everything through mountain interface, everything through volcanoes, everything through the grounds, okay, is now allocated to higher positions of Jupiter. Okay, so it's all about getting the communications of mountains and everything through volcanoes. So now it's in a simulation. So I changed the DNA structures of mountains and everything through volcanoes. I changed everything through the grounds of all country systems, all connected to the Earth, right? When you come into the modulations of 4 division levels of XT,000 positions. Okay, so it's done through this equation. It's all connected into the simulation. All right. So you're gonna watch this back. It's incredible when we come across these things. It's activated, so it's kind of like went into the future. See, what did you just do? I feel so different. So the oxygen levels of nature is changing. The vibrational levels of mountains are changing. Everything through its volcanoes are changing. Everything through trees, anything through bushes. It's all about changing everything into the physical aspects of the Earth. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Once you understand your modulation centers, once you understand your modulation setups, once you understand your modulation simulation, then you get into the higher formation of atmosphere systems through calculation. It integrates all levels of vibration. So it's truly understanding how to connect to everything through its activation. And the pro cycles, anything. It's all about human behavior. Okay, mountains have feelings, grounds have feelings. Everything is connected, but it's all digital. So understanding the codes of that is understanding everything through its biochemicals or anything, or its bi-trifactors, all right? Okay, so you got low factors, medium factors, and high factors. The energy factor to its location, to its ground formation system. But this is all changed into the Earth or its rotation to its mountains and its volcanoes and its ground formation system. Okay, it's all done through Jupiter and Galaxy 1, through the magnetic force, right? It's all about communicating, and that's how you change everything, okay, to the Earth rotation in the simulation. Because the DNA is set up, okay, through humanity's system. And you guys will feel that through your body activations, right? You feel it, you hear it, you see it, you touch it, you taste it. All connections to its forming comes into its combination. So it's kind of like understanding the codes of you, breaking the surface of you, okay, understanding the redirections of nature, understanding everything through its water, okay, because it modifies, because mountains communicate with water, water communicates with everything, okay, it has to. So you have to understand everything through the grounds of a mountain. You have to understand everything through the grounds of a volcano. You even have to understand the grounds of water. Everything has a ground. So it's all about understanding how to change this thing through connections, how to interforce connections of the Earth and put it in simulation, take it out of its equation. So I have to have confirmation signals before I can, crack the surface of its plasma, because it's very powerful when we come into this connection, okay, through modifications. It's an incredible force. It's extremely activated and it's extremely real. Now this is in the future, all right? Now the reason why I don't give you a year is because it will upset your cycles through vibration of the brainwaves, right? But trust me when I tell you, that's exactly what's going to happen, okay? And it's tremendous to see these things. It's all about coming into the equinox. And this is what I need to do to change everything through the colors of water, colors of, anything through grounds, colors of cycles of leaves, or anything through branches, or anything through trees. It's all about watering a tree. It's all about watering grounds. You have to water grounds just like anything else. So it's all about your behavioral system through your body activation system and how you change everything through formation, right? So it's upcycling everything through calculation, put everything to a higher division of protection, okay? That's what it's all about. It's redirecting nature and putting nature into the simulation, right? But I have to do it in the physical grounds, okay, of my human essence, okay? Not the human intelligence. So I'm no longer human intelligence. I'm no longer intelligence of a human. I'm all intelligence. That's the issue. That's the problem. That's the connection. That's what humanity has to get into. Get out of the human, get into the intelligence. So you become intelligence human, and then you come everything through intelligence and no longer human. Human in essence, yes, you have the physical system. You understand the base, you understand the grounds, you understand the earth. But when you come into higher formations of calculations, wow, you can really, really uprise anything through that modification cycle. It changes everything through positions, guys. It's a really incredible force, especially when you come into that through connections. All right. So hopefully you guys have any questions on that. You know, I'd like to hear anything you comment on. It's amazing. It's really incredible to see these things. So other than that, hope everybody's doing well. There's a lot going on, like I said. But I just wanted to show you how powerful it is to see something on an illustration, how everything is activated. And that's why I have a digital pad. Remember, it has its own memory. It has its own activation. It has its own lights. It has its own colors. It has its own mind. Okay, this is intelligence. It knows what it's doing. Okay, it knows how to calculate, modify it. It knows how to integrate. It knows how to encrypt. It knows how to do codes. And everything is done through the mind system. The brainwaving pattern knows its positions. And this is what you come up through calculation. Right? It's an incredible force. Right? Okay, so this is what's going to happen to the earth. Okay. So, and if I had a digital pad that was bigger, then I can actually show you how powerful it is to see these things. But I think it's incredible when you look at what's going on. You know, what is really going on with all communications with Jupiter, all communications with Galaxy 1, the magnetic forcing highway information system. Okay, it modifies everything through its plasma. It breaks its surface into its grounds of its mountains and its volcanoes. It activates its light signals. The X3000s come into program setting. They come into the ground formations and they go into the ice circle of the sun positions. They open up everything through the program setting. They send up laser directions to the mountain interface, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. But this is how you change the earth. Okay, put it in simulation, right? So what I did through structure, the graphing location of the earth is in the simulation, but the platitude of the solar system is in the 5th dimensional. So it's grinding through its connections, right? It's going, and each one has its planet position, right? So when I created the solar systems and all calculations through integration cycles, you understand the rotation centers and everything through the sun, okay? Because it has a diameter switch, and that diameter switch switches the holographic system of planet positions. So each time you travel to each planet, now I know you guys are saying, wait a minute, you're traveling one planet to the next? I said, yes, because you have to understand, once you leave your human essence and you come out of the physical and you come into the intelligence, you become everything through intelligence, and then you can travel to any position of planet position. So I do the exact same thing with each planet, okay? Because everything is different. Each planet is different, each location, okay? Each alignment is different, okay? So this is all done through the earth. Okay, so this is the future. Okay. So when you see this happen, you'll see it because you're in the force team. The force team understands their perception. They understand everything through the holographic. They understand everything through the retrogrades. And everything through that connection system is all point dividing your locations into your intelligence. Okay, so when you come full body intelligence and just the human essence of yourself, because you are flesh and bone, you understand that. You live that physical essence, but the mind-waving system is no longer in its presence, it's in its future. But you live its presence. So that's really understanding that everything through adaptation that I go through, the encryptions or anything through codes or anything through algorithm program settings, it's always falling into the future. I don't create anything, it's already created. So it's understanding they come out of the brain location of the human DNA and coming into the intelligence of its spiritual, of its DNA. That's why it's so powerful. And then you come up with this through traction. Okay. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's fascinating. Okay. So you have to understand, okay, Commander, I have a question for you. Why is this red and why are these different colors? So this is the ground of channeling. This is charging. This is everything through activation. It's activating everything through the ground formation system. The line communication as interforce connection is coming from Jupiter and everything in the galaxy 1, right? But the center position right here is the fifth dimensional system. So that's why it doesn't change. I don't change the coloration system. It's in this plasma. It's protected, right? If I change the coloration system of this, right, it'll crack the surface and I'll change the solar system, and everything through humanity's system will change the coloration of their patterns, and everything through the holographic system. It will line communicate their positions into the holographics, and channel operation centers will be all confused through your mind systems, right, through dream set positions. Okay? So you want to do that through modification. It's incredible. It's amazing. So once you get into that modification, goes calculation systems that direction. Get into those positions. Into higher formation system through modification. Now this is already set up in the future. Okay? But it's incredible, isn't it, when you see these things? It's amazing. Right? Now, I can't give you a time frame because your body conceptual system doesn't understand this vibration. It only understands the fifth dimensional system. My force team is trying to understand more of their travel of this position. They're trying to understand more of their thought recognition system. So the more you create your thoughts through faster of track, you're understanding more positions of yourself through the brain waves. I say, okay, Commander, I just communicated through the energy grids and opened up a micro valve through connection through a line communication to their point center through all connections of a wire location to its position of a computer operation to its quantum field through its atmosphere system. Oh, that's great. So what I just said is created. And it's right now, it's circling out of this atmosphere, it's circling into the connection of space. And now it's setting up. It's setting up like this. Okay. So this is how I set up. This is thought. This is visualizing of a thought through creation, illustration, radiation, anything through modification, integration, simulation. It's understanding the providers. Okay. So to set up anything like that, you have to also understand how to use your satellites, right? Because you're using coordinates, right? Coordinate for the X2000 positions, right? X2000 here, 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 and here has to be in the right positions. Okay. And everything through the energy hub is in the right location. Everything in the center position. This is the fifth dimensional ring. Okay, this is the activation. Okay, this is what makes the Earth go round and round through calculation, right? So it has a plasma. It's very liquid. It's very fast. It centers position at so many levels of that calculation system, but you can't change positions anything, right? So basically, I'm setting up gateways of plateaus of X2000 positions. Okay, this kind of looks like a formula, right? It's very old, looks old, right? But setting up the gateways. Okay, so when you set up the gateways, this is what you come up with. Okay, I think it's fascinating when you look at the drawing. Really, really pay attention to what's happening. Look at the detail. Look at the story frame. Okay. Everything is drawn through its past, to its present, to its future, but to understand your intelligence and what you're doing through its connection. Okay. It's all about communicating, right? And that's what we can't do anymore, is we can't ignore nature, especially now, because when you go higher, like I said, the vibration goes higher, the nature reaches its resistance. It knows your digital frame. So it's going to be high vibration. It's going to be very sensitive to your body system. So you have to change your dietary. Okay. You have to change the way you do things, the way you act upon things, or anything through communication. Okay, it's important to understand these things, right? So, all right, so let's set up the galaxy positions. I'm going to go through another calculation modification here. Different coloration this time. I like to go in variations of colors. It's really fascinating to see these things. Okay, so we'll resonate on orange. Okay, so we'll platitude on the orange. It's activated. Okay, even though you can't see everything. So it's really understanding when I say something, it's already created. It's already created. Okay. So it's truly understanding everything that I'm creating right away is direction of everything through position, activates everything through location position, opens up everything through triangle location, security line defense to its mechanism system, angle point location positions, all security line defense connection line systems coming into traction positions. We got higher force connections of dimensional rounds through this connection line system. Allocate those positions direction of point center to communications. If you can see that through traction position, but it's all calculated, modified, right, through direction, right? So truly understanding what you're getting in through positions. Hopefully you guys can see that, but it's truly understanding your coloration change. That's red in the system, right? But it's orange in the background. Dietary now, body framing system, like only raw veg, mostly liquid formation. Yeah, but see, that's it. See, basically, everything through connection is you through water. You have to take water. It purifies your system. It activates your light system. It activates your body and your chakra system. It communicates through your thought recognition system. So you'll be able to think better, know better, see better, hear better, taste better, and touch better. That's what water does. It's a fluctuation. You need that because your energetic system is going every day. That's what your body's doing. That's your vibration of your body. Okay, some are higher. Right? So the higher you go, the more you see through color, right? And when you go higher and higher and higher and higher, your water intake has to be more and 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 more. You can't put a lot of meat in the supplements of your dietary system because you won't be able to travel through the mind system. It's too heavy through activation, right? So you have to understand the 70% of water that you take every single day. I think an average person, a human, pretty much takes between 6 to 8 glasses of water a day you're supposed to. But who does that? There's not too many people that do that, right? So that's what gets you in trouble, right? So you have to understand how to go through the fluctuations, go through the microbiome, go through the connection, go through the energetic system, go through the engineering skill sets, okay? The microtubular valves and everything through connections, it goes into your connections of your intestines. You have to understand that calculation. And that's like, wow, that's like 30 feet. 30 feet that's in your body system. You pull it out, it's 30 feet. So you understand how to communicate. What is the feeding supplement to your liver? What is your feeding supplement to your heart? What is your feeding supplement to the mind? Everything is connected through the water. So the water has to regenerate your body activation so you can travel farther into positions of dimensions of portal and activation codes. Okay? So, because every time I high-rise the connection, I have to drink more water all the time, because it's flushing, right? So, and the thing is, the more you produce light, the more it calculates and comes into the electrolytes of water. Okay, there's water that you can drink that has electrolytes in it. Okay, basically there's cocoa water. Drink that. That's really good for the supplement. Your body and your intelligence tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay, so if you really listen to the audio signals of your intelligence and say, yes, I need to take this, right? And if you really, really focus, you can really, really understand more of the intelligence coming in. And say, oh, I really understand my intelligence now through my dietary. So you write a list, okay? And then it starts making more sense to you. And then you start feeling better and you have better dreams. And the dreams become more active and more real. And then you start more deciphering what it is. This is what I want to get into. I was talking to my sacred flame this morning, and we're talking about thoughts of dreams. So when you get into your thought of a dream and you don't understand your deciphering of your dream, try to understand that when you're sleeping, okay, if you don't understand your activations of your dream, it's going to go through your mind collaboration centers, through your operations of your travels of space, and it's going to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong through connections. All right. Now, in the physical system, there's really no right or wrong. It's learning from experience. But what did you learn from your experience? So it's understanding the application levels that you need to understand when you go through your dreams, because it's all connected to your thoughts and recognition, to communication. So it's really, really powerful how we have to absorb our waters. Okay. So because it activates everything through our chakra system. Yeah, it's lots of water that feels the difference. That's exactly what it is, Tina. Okay. You'll never see me go vegan, right? I've tried it, didn't like it, or even vegetarian. You have to have some kind of supplement of meat in you because it's protein. Okay, it has enzymes. It has so many different. Remember, you're not just feeding the system. You're feeding the electrical wires. You're feeding the biochemicals. You're feeling the particle systems. I wish you guys could see what I see through particles. I did a very powerful video yesterday and show you what happens with your blood cells and everything through your red and white cells and what it is. Okay, it's all about the white cells and how to keep it in balance, right? So when the red cells come in, it's like an example when you see black ants and you see red ants, you should see what they do. It's pretty powerful. That's what I'm saying. Humans have to get more into involvements in what they see on the grounds. If you see an ant, see what an ant does. Okay? See what an ant does. It takes its food, it doesn't eat it, and it stores it for the winter. That's intelligence. Okay, what do bees do? They go to flowers and pollen, all that. They produce honey. That's intelligence. Okay? So it's really powerful why we have nature, why we have visualizations of nature, why we have correlations of nature, why we have colorations of vibrations of thoughts of nature. You use your thought recognition system. I did a project, I think when I was maybe 16, 17 years old, and they told me to take home a plant. And they told me to research the plant, try to understand what it's doing. Is it changing position? Give it food supplements, give it water. And I found like, oh, it's working, but not working is enough. And then I realized, wait a minute, what if I just use my voice? My voice is a grid. It's a pattern. It's a digital. It's a frame. It's numbers. So it's all about understanding the calculation, modifications to its plant. Okay. And say, high rise the plant by saying, hello, plant. You don't think it's crazy, but it's just saying, the plant is turning beautiful. It's gorgeous. The colors are coming in nicely. That plant will grow faster because it's coming from your body system through conceptual through its plant resolution system. So it's all about understanding the digital frame. It's understanding the holographic system of the plant. And your voice and grid is its connection because you're line connected. We're all connected to everything through alignment. Okay, so when you get in positions of this, right, we're going to the weight graphing board system again. Okay, now let's say you come across a red cycling, okay, a red cycling to a box frequency, a red cycling to a box frequency. It's pretty simple, right? So it's understanding how to take this box to communicate with the red cycling. Okay, now it's line division. Now it's all about understanding. Remember when I was doing the mountain interface and I was going northwest, okay, northwest, okay, and then you go east, south, or southeast, but you have to understand you have to go forward, right? You can't go this way. You got to go this way because you're bringing things into the future. You're not bringing things into the past. So it's not northeast, it's northwest. And that's how you set up the operation, change everything through the graphemation system, right? But the power center stays the same because everybody is in the human vibrational system of 5-dimensional telepathy system. So I can't change the coloration, okay? Because I'll change everything through direction, okay, to its planet position. All right, so red cycling to its box frequency. Take it out of its equation. Now we get a circle rotation center to its position, okay, like this. All right, and then we get into connections. So try to do this through an experiment. Because there's a triangle. Whoa, that's interesting. So you have to understand that what do you want to communicate with? The red cycling, the square, or do you want to communicate with the circle, or you want to communicate with the diamond? All right, the connection of this triangle. Okay, so it's a diamond. Okay, what do you want to communicate with? So you want to communicate with one, or you want to communicate with all four? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is where you have to understand your thought recognitions. So truly understand when you're going through your dreams, if you're going through connections of yourself and you're seeing yourself through your thoughts, you know what you're saying through your thoughts, that's great because it's all about resolving your thoughts of what you're saying every second per second. So when you change your frames and you go to sleep, okay, it's going to be confusing to the mind system. Okay, so it's kind of like never ever, when you're in a situation with your couple or anything through husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, always resolve your issues when you fight. Okay, especially at night, because if you don't, everything in the next day will change vibration of communication. And then you guys just start distancing from each other, and things get worse, and then you start building. So vibration builds, the dimensional builds. You both separate in two different parallels of dimensions. And that's what is separation between two people. You go in two different parallels of paradoxes. You separate each other, you communicate through each other, right? On and off, right? And then it gets worse because now everything becomes cold. So when you become cold with each other, what happens? Break up or you get divorced, right? So it's all about your body and its reaction, right? Through your thoughts, recognition system. So if we want to communicate with everything through traction position, I would take everything out of this equation. Okay, you do this through modifications. You have to communicate with everything through communication. It changes everything through direction, like this. Okay, that's all communication to everything through the red cycling, everything through the box frequency, everything through circle rotation, everything through the diamond, or anything through its triangle division. So I have all connections of communications, right? So that puts me in a better position. Okay, now when I come into that better position, I come into the connections of security and defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So all positions are put in, okay? The red cycling, the box frequency, the circle rotation, or anything through the diamond core, or anything through the triangle, or anything through the pyramid is all in connection. And that's where it comes 3D holographic into the simulation, all right? And the secure line defense, you can change it to any color position. Once you change the color, it comes into the matrix positions. It's fascinating when you do these things. So you can change the color. Right? It's all about the illusion of the eye and what you're seeing through modification, guys. It starts out like that. Okay? Interesting, isn't it? So it's amazing how we connect through our thoughts of travel. But once you understand that, you get everything in position. You get all shapes. Okay, so it's kind of like getting the galaxies and the universe and everything through my travel. Okay, and everything through my thought, and everything through creation, everything through illustration. Okay, put that all together in one position. Okay, you put that all in one position, you got the red circling, you got the box frequency, and you got the circle rotation through the diamond core, or anything through the pyramid of its triangle division into its connection. So it's interesting, right? See the circle rotation, and you also see something inside, so it's like it's coming out, right? So it's all about illusory of the eye and what you're seeing through dimension of a portal, okay? But it's all connected in its frame, okay? It's in its communication through its factoring levels. It's amazing how we come into that. So if I change the coloration system, we're in its connections. So let's go into black so you can actually see what I'm showing you. All right, so go into the black. Okay. Okay, we'll start off with this. So you get a truly understanding how you put everything in connection. So it's balancing everything through the illustration of your diagram. Okay, so you got the dimensional realm and you got something inside, right? And you see it coming out, right? So when you see that, then you can change the coloration system again. So these are all different wires, all different communication dimension of the portals, the coloration and matrix positions, but they're in the same connection, right? They're all together, they're platformed, they're combined, they're formed, right? And that's why it's so powerful. So all your thoughts, all the dimension of your thoughts, all your portal of your thoughts, all your paradigms or paradox or the paradoxes or anything through parallels or anything through paradigms or anything through those connections are all connected into your form system, right? So let's go into another coloration. Go into blue. So we got the circle rotation into blue. Stuff of that, right? So it's all communication, right? And that's the truly understanding how to understand shapes and to balance, how to balance yourself through your body frame. Okay. Look at that. It's powerful, isn't it? So we got the red circling. Okay, look at the box frequency. Look at that. You see this coming out, and then you see this, and then you see the diamond core, see the triangle, see the pyramid. Okay, it's all in form of one balance, guys, through dimension. So that's the basic travel, how to travel through your chakra system of communication through shapes and anomalies. Okay. Galactica, how's it going? And so we can choose it again to another coloration to its position. Let's go into green. Okay, so the left is the diamond core. Okay. Just showing you. So there's the diamond core. So basically everything starts in the center. Okay. But you understand everything through the connections of northwest, south, and east, right? So you got the red circling, you got the box frequency, but everything is coming out. You see everything coming out, right? But it's all joined. It's all in one. The communication is all in one. The vibration is all in one. Okay, they're all together as one. Okay. So if you understand your thoughts of recognition, you won't have a problem with calculations, your travels. Let's truly get into those levels, guys. Okay. A little bit of interference here, the calculation. So I go into the modification cycle again through traction. Okay. It's unstable here. Okay, so basically it's a green line through connection. So basically if the triangle or anything through the diamond core wants to change its position, you have to understand it's all combined now through information, right? So it doesn't have to go through communication anymore, right? So it's all connected, right, through my telepathy. So it can all come into one cycle of one coloration to one activation of 4 division levels of shape rotation centers through calculation, right? It comes into so many levels of interference of communication. Now, the red cycling rotation system will change its position into a new dimensional of a realm connection. Okay. All one color because it has its form. So basically it's always going forward. Going forward is changing color. Okay. So you can mix colors. You can have the box frequency level at red. You can have the circle rotation at blue. You can have the diamond core at green, or you can have the circle rotation or anything through black or whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is everything that I do through dimension is always going forward through its shapes of travel. So it's the same thing you do with your thoughts. Okay. So it's incredible. It's really incredible. So I'll show you this one more time. You have to watch this video back so you get a better position. But that's how everything is done through calculation. It's amazing how we do these things, right? How we change everything through the mountains and everything through volcanoes. How it all connects into the plasmas. Okay, the electrical grounds and everything to the power centers and everything to the magnetic force highway, everything through Jupiter, everything through Galaxy 1. Okay, so you guys have any questions or comments on that? Feel free, you want to understand more of yourself. Oh, also too, I've set up a new platform for everybody. Okay, you have to watch this back. So basically, as you can go into the communication levels of your activation cycle through your body system, open up your transformation lights and put you in your 12 cycles of chakras right away. You'll be in 12 and you'll understand more of the connection. You'll come into the tesseract. Very powerful energy. So understanding the God frequency lights and its communication, you understand more of your connections of yourself through shapes and anomalies, structure letters and everything through its number of its fractal levels of its digital frame. So the platform that I set up is about healing your house. Okay, cleansing your house, seeing the dark rotations, dark centers, dark positions, dark realms. Everything has its activity. So you understand why your thoughts change because you live in that house. Well, every house has history. Every house has ancestry. I can cleanse houses instantly, take it out, right? Everything in this casa is all clean. It's all clean, no dark. So you understand dark surfaces and it stays on cabinets, it stays on tables, stays on floors. It stays anywhere in crevices of corners, ceilings, anything on a bed. You can't see it. I can't see it. It's in the naked eye. It's understanding you see everything in the spiritual system. So it's allocated positions where basically you have ghost residents, okay, and it's living in your house. It doesn't want to leave its system. That's between the system of the human essence and everything through its spiritual system between the parallels. I talk about death, right? So this is understanding when the person doesn't want to leave the house, all right? Poltergeists are very real. So understanding the history and ancestry of every place that you live in, okay, you have to understand that. You have to understand that. Anybody see the movie Poltergeist? Very, very powerful movie, very scary. Well, if you understand everything that's going on, you understand the reference of everything through its story frame, how all that platitude of land, okay, had graves, okay, and in those graves were people that passed away. And on top of that, the owner, the real estate owner, put houses on top of the graves. Okay. And unfortunately, because the lead actor, basically, he was a real estate agent, and they were living in a house, right? And below the house was the graves. Right, so that was all based on with the poltergeist and how the girl was looking at the screen and talking to the screen, right? And how the little girl went through another dimension, right, through a door, and the mother came in and pulled her out, right? So it's pretty powerful. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of misinformation, but it's just a scary film. It really is. It's very well done with Steven Spielberg. And I thought it was pretty fascinating to see these things. I read that part when the mother was basically taking the kids, giving them breakfast and all that. And then they went to school. And then basically she was putting the chairs together, clearing the table and all that. And she looks around just for a quick second, looks back, and all the chairs are standing up, right? So that's all about changing frame of dimensions to portal through systems. So that's understanding that incredible force. I don't know if you guys understand about haunted houses, like really haunted houses, ancient houses, talking England or anything through Scotland. There's a lot of places that are very, very powerful. So it's knowing how to take things out. It's kind of like a vacuum sucking these things out, right, from its realm. Okay, so I can do that too. I've done that with quite a few people to have cleansed their house. So that's a platform division on its own. Just go to my email. I'll basically do a bioscan, and I'll do a fast track to understand what's going on with your structures of your house, where it came from, what realm division it's in. Like I said, because you understand that the house is in its own dimension. It's in its own portal. It's in its own activation of a center. But you have to understand everything through creation, okay, is not all light. Especially when you move into an older house. It's going to have other things, a spiritual system, right? Remember, everything that you live in is digital. It's all holographic. So I understand everything through the naked eye. I understand everything through structure. I see dark particles. I see dark realms, dark circles, dark locations, dark entity forces. I see warlocks. I see ghosts. I see witches. Okay. Now that's all in the mind system, but that's created in the house. Okay. There could be a witching format, okay, with a cauldron or anything in that connection system set in a dark realm location. Okay. And you don't see it because you're not in the spiritual system. Everything is done in the spiritual system of healing. Okay. And that's the problem with a lot of humans, is that when they live in this residence that they're in, okay, their thoughts change. They get angry. Okay. It's also like that movie with Emmeville, about the house, where the house didn't want anybody. Get out. Now, the thing is, too, is that truly understanding everything is a practical level, but understand the true nature of things, because the more it resides in a house, the more it gets darker and darker and darker, and the more it creates around it, right? So when it starts taking over and over and over and over, okay, it's in position. It's kind of like with the atom system, where you get the white cells and the red cells. So if the red cells take over the white cells, huge problem. Your light will go out. So it's kind of like everything through creation of a house can be created through its dark matter. It creates its own thoughts. It creates its own vibration. If it becomes dark vibration and you touch anything through its connection, it goes into your body system. Remember, your house is full of energy, but it's all done in the spiritual system, guys. Okay? So I understand these things because every time I go somewhere, I always scan. I have to. Right? It's very important because it's kind of like, a vampire can't walk into your house unless you ask them to be invited. You understand? So you're protecting yourself, right? Same with the faith of the cross, to get rid of vampires. You have to have faith in that, right? But anyway, if you want to go to my email, I'll tell you exactly. I'll scan your house and I'll give you a cost, right? It's pretty efficient. And not only that, you'll see the change. You'll see the change in the whole house. It will just light up the house and it'll take everything out. It's all done through thought. Okay? That's all it is. It's all done through thought. And because of all 52 generations of galaxy locations, all communication of God lights of all connection systems, sacred levels in all connection systems, everything through triangle positions, shapes, letters, and numbers, anything through tracking precision, anything through intelligence, anything through form, everything through computer, anything through atoms, anything through energy, anything through weather. That's the position you guys have to come in, right? So it's really interesting when we come into these levels because now you're fully understanding yourself into the spiritual system 100%. You're not into the 99.9% spiritual. You're into the 100% spiritual. You're into the 100% mind. You're into the 100% heart. And you're into the 100% soul. Okay, those are the levels you guys have to reach. And my team is coming into that. So I'm proud on that level because they're learning more of themselves. They're really, truly understanding that. And they're going through the connection of the telepathy and everything through intelligence. All my 9 channels are off through cycles, but I was connecting to the wind service and I was connecting to my body frame and I was changing the electrical system of my brain locations. I said, wow, that's intelligence. So I'm communicating with nature. I'm communicating with water. Remember, you're communicating with everything. It's just trying to understand the vibrations of its dimensions. Each vibration of nature is in a different core of its relation. So it's truly understanding what you're communicating with. It's amazing when you get into those levels, trying to understand more of yourself. You understand your car. Okay. Car has an engine, right? But it's energy. It's vibration. Okay. And then once you get into the harmonic resistance, then you understand, oh, the car needs more gas. Oh, the left tire is low. Oh, the circuitry levels are low. Oh, the spark plug needs to be replaced. Okay, that's the connection, you guys, when you come into that, because your car is nothing but a digital. It's all holographic once you get in the spiritual system. So it's tapping into the realm of a new Earth rotation into the simulation from its very beginning. And you come into the past, the present, and its future, right? Once you get into this connection and you get into the alignments, then you truly understand the vibrational systems of simulation to your core system, to your body framing system. Okay. So in reference, truly understand your phone. Your phone is connecting. It's line signaling, everything through channel operations, the graphing positions, the circuitry board level connections. It's got its energetic waving patterns, the holographic it sees. I see the plasma, right? It's going. So, and that's the connection. That's the balance you want to have, right? With my digital pad, it has a mind of its own. It wants to play. So it shows different things, right? It shows you how I can connect to the body frame and how I can high-rise illumination light, or I can change the present and the presence, or its past or its future. I can change the marker location to its digital pad. I can change the coloration to its framing system of all light connections of its dimension through its portal, like its code, through its encrypting, to its embedding, to its copying, to its paste, to its linking, uploads, downloads, and upgrading system. So these things you have to know. You have to understand yourself more. To understand yourself more, you have to understand vibration and where it's coming from, where it's residing from. Okay? Everything has ancestry and history. Poles, trees, cars. Okay, you buy a car that's 2010, you're picking up energy of 2010, a vibration of position, of location, of direction. Okay. If you're picking up a phone, okay, like this is Galaxy 9. Now, if I get into Galaxy 12, it's going to be higher. So I have to reprogram it. But it's got to be, my position has to be bounced to the location, but my position has to be a higher position, because you have to understand that you can have your phone take you over through vibration. And that's the problem with humanity, is they have to understand that what is a 5 gamma ray? What is the 6 gamma ray? What is the 7th gamma ray? There's high-tech phones. Okay, it's all radioactive. It's energy, it's electricity, it's magnetic, it's force. It goes into your body frame. It's electricity that goes in. Okay, I'll draw you a picture. I'll show you exactly what goes in. Okay, and people don't understand this. Okay, it's all connected to the earth. So you get into position. Okay, go into the connection system here. All right, so go into the black circle rotation. It's better to see through white graphing board. All right, so this is you through connection. Okay, now you have your phone into position like this. Okay, that's your phone in position. Now, truly understanding what your phone is. Okay, your phone is a system calculated. All right, so that's you. Now, what happens once you pick up a new phone? I got a little interference here with the connections. We'll go back in traction. Wave you cycle through its positions. Okay, so basically, when I travel through positions, it's so fast through calculating, guys. It's crazy. It's really nuts. Okay, so when in position, this is your phone. You just bought a new phone. Okay, so let's say it's a Galaxy 12. Okay, it's a Galaxy 12. So you have to understand everything through its microvalves. You have to understand everything through its gamma rays and everything through vibration, electricity, magnetic force. Everything has a magnetic force. So you use the wires go in your arms like this. Goes right into the center position. Right? It's electrical wires, right? If you don't understand it, it goes through your whole body system. Okay? You don't understand the Galaxy 12, right? If you understand the 12, then you understand the wires of connection, then you understand the dimensional realm of its phone reception location. It's created in Japan. Japan has to understand its connection of its realm, its division, everything through wire connection system. Understand the circuitry board. Your circuitry board doesn't understand you, okay, because you don't understand it. So truly understand your phone is the balance, right, through its position. You have to understand the dimension. You have to understand the realm. You have to understand the portal. You have to understand the equation. You have to understand the wires. You have to understand electricity. You have to understand magnetic force. You have to understand everything through the metrics of a phone, because it's a computer. Okay? So, remember we started off with inflammation, the connection systems, how we come into levels of different phones. We get into Motorola. We get into other phones, you know, the flip phones. You know, everything changes. Technology has to change, right? Humanity, right? And then it will signal all channels to your body activation system, light system through calculation. You get a full vibrational signal, okay? All connected to that phone, because you don't understand the Galaxy 12. So every time you get a phone that's brand new, you have to understand the electrical wires are all brand new. It's not understanding you through the body frame. It's very hard to understand vibration, okay? I'm ready to move. This house has a lot of dense energy. My partner keeps telling me the landlord is in a dark position through the government. Yeah, see, that's it. So if you're ready to move, you understand your energetic system and anything through holographic system of under knowings. Under knowings and doing of its knowings to its understanding of its knowings. So it's complicated, but if you understand the knowing of its intelligence, then you understand everything through its energy system of its house and its structures and its realms and its location and its position and its parallel and its paradigm, paradox, okay? Every house is in a galaxy position of direction of spiritual system. Everything is ancestor and history, guys. You guys know that. So as soon as you plant a toe into that house, okay, what happens is the vibration changes. If the vibration changes, the dark energy force system of its realm comes out and finds out who you are through calculation. Now you might think I'm crazy, but I'm not. You have to understand what you see through perception. Okay, because everything through dark energy force system is extremely real. So it's higher formations of dark energy force systems that's in your house. And to take it out has to be cleansed, like it's poltergeist. Every house is a poltergeist. So it's like cleaning a crystal. You can't go to a store and buy a crystal until you understand how to heal it so it becomes yours. You have to change the vibration. You have to change the ancestry of its vibration. You have to change the connections to what it is. It could be the Egyptians or whatever. It could be a mummy. Remember I was telling you about the book? I was going to a friend's place, right? A friend of my sacred flame. Well, as I'm saying, that Egyptian book was coming at me, coming right at me. You know, I said, whoa, God, right? So it tried to take over my body. It tried to take over my thoughts. It tried to take over my mind. It tried to take over my wires. It tried to take over my energy field. It tried to take over my light. This is very, very powerful mummy. So I said, no, you're not going to do this. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to put you into your mummy tomb because it was out of its position. So it's understanding history. I said, whoa, there was a mummy that was in a book, but it wasn't in its case. You understand? It was traveling all around. So now it's back in its case. That changed the energy. That changed the vibration of the house. You understand? So you understand where your thoughts come from. Your thoughts come from your house, places that you move to. All right? So people are asking me, why does your voice change? Why are you angry? Why are you stressed? Why are you? Well, because the history of that house has that. Because everybody, you have to understand, when history has its revelation system, you have to stand the calculation when it comes into manifestation of past, present, and future, right? So if you're in an older house, you're in a house that's older, and it has its generation. There has people that been in that house. That's energy. That stays in the house. It doesn't leave, guys. That's old energy. That's dark energy of its thoughts through its negative system. So truly understanding what you're up against when you're coming into the spiritual system of its house for the very first time. I traveled a lot, and now I wasn't open at the time through anything, through awakening, but I was aware. You just get this gut feeling. It just doesn't feel right. Your stomach starts to twirl and say, no, I'm not going to live here. It doesn't feel right. You get that essence of, like, ooh, get that, the energy, the dark energy is telling you to leave because you're not allowed, because it's territory. Okay. Every house has a territory. So as soon as you walk into that house, okay, you're disturbing its realm right away. Okay. So I really want to get into this. Okay. So this is what you're commanded to do. I can cleanse your house. Okay. Just go through my email. But it's fascinating when you see these things through possessions or anything through connections of poltergeist. So anyway, when you get anything through a Galaxy 12 or anything, that phone reception, you have to understand your body activation system of wires and vibrational systems, guys. It's a magnetic force. So if you don't say, hey, this is cool, but the vibration is so high, you don't understand it through your body. It connects, it fires and wires through the brain location. The brain doesn't understand, the mind doesn't understand, the heart doesn't understand, or anything the soul. The soul doesn't identify your phone, right? So what do? You get a lower phone. You get a vibrational tone to your level of your body system that's balanced to its position, right? So you can get into formations of your shapes like this through calculation. Everything formulates into its combination, right? So everything's in balance, okay? So that's what you want. You want to get a phone, but how would you know that? How would you know to get the right vibration of a phone? You have to be in your spiritual system because you won't be able to understand vibration if you're not awake. But this is amazing because it becomes magic. It becomes superpowers. You become psychic. You become psychic on so many levels of mind telepathy. And understand what people are thinking. That alone will take you out of communications of other people. That alone puts you in a better position how you can understand more of yourself through modification, right? This is going to integration all your levels of wires through your balanced positions to your shapes and anomalies of its connection, to its forming, to its dimensional travel positions. Okay? Because everything in here is in balance. Okay? So, it's interesting when you come into these things, guys. I'll show you this one more time. It's very powerful. I love doing this. It's very activated, very real. You guys see it in the future, right? So watch the video back. Understand what I did. Okay? The team will understand that. Anybody that joins my galactic school is all based on you understanding the more of you through the psychological system, understand the psychop locations of you. Psychop is understand the psychological of your mind and your dreams. You're connected to your body. Body's connected to the mind. Mind's connected to the heart. Heart's connected to soul. Soul is you through identification. Now you can call it whatever you want. It's anything through vibration of energies. You become anything through a higher self, right? These are all names that are put to protect their lights, their activation. Angels, archangels, anything, Pleiadians, Pleiadians, whatever. But you understand, it's just reading higher confirmation signals of lights to the quantum fields of its vibrational system. Once you leave the quantum fields, now you come into the stratospheres. Then you go into higher formations, then you come into bio. You go into scanning, then you go into bio-communication, bio-interfacing connections, bio multidimensional systems, integrating cycles through interdimensional systems, water containment line communication line signals. So it's confusing to the mind system because your commander communicates with all levels of intelligence through forming. So it's understanding I have bounced with my phone. Then I realize, oh, any phone I take, it doesn't matter. I can balance it out, right? But if you don't understand the vibration of the phone, that's the problem. So when you wake up, you're more aware right away with vibration. Just vibration alone. Oh, I hear something. What is that? Oh, that's the windowsill. Oh, it's the wall. Oh, it's the door handle. Everything. You hear everything. You hear everything dripping. You hear everything tapping. Your ears become more sensitive. Your eyes become more aware. And your mind becomes more of center through travel. And everything through the heart opens up its portal. And everything through the soul identifies everything through your thoughts of vibration. Okay. Priscilla, I don't know if you guys are getting notifications, but it's taken a while for everybody to get on. I sent it, my videos come on between 9 and 11, so you shouldn't be able to miss them. Just know that your commander is going to be on between 9 and 11. That's all you have to know, right? It's important that you watch the lives because it gives you everything through fruition, everything through lights and activations, and everything through center positions and all that. But today was a very powerful video. We're talking more about everything that's going on, right, with the Earth, how your commander is setting things up for the future, right? I get data processing systems every day through calculation, but my modifications in my archetype flying recognition light systems opens up computers and operations and atoms and diffusing line signals and all communications through point systems. It's just crazy what's going on. My fragmentations, my Schumann resonance. I have my own Schumann resonance, eh? Did you know that? I don't think anybody told that. That's understanding the connections to anything through vibration. You can understand the graph locations of a car, anything through computer, anything through phone. I have my own Schumann restaurant, Schumann resonance, and what that does, it understands its position, what it's doing every day through its behavior, through its vibrational system, right? This calculates everything through location. This is all set up, changing the Earth system. You see the plasma, see the XT thousands, right? This is Jupiter. This is Galaxy 1. Magnetic force and highway. Ground formations, electrical wires. So this is changing everything through mountains and volcanoes and putting everything in position in the simulation. Okay? But everything in the center position stays in red. Okay, because everybody's in the fifth dimensional system. So it's just the ground formation system, everything through the magnetic force and highway. Okay, everything through its connection to this plasma. See the plasma? But the circle rotation center stays in that position because it's a solar connection to humanity in the fifth dimensional system. That's why I can't change the coloration system because I would change the simulation of its modulation. So I'm changing up all connections to a new simulation of a core, to its modulation, to its center, to its position of a chakra system. Okay, so it's confusing to the mind system. But like I said, if you want to go through that plateau, I'll cleanse your house. Just go through my emails. All right. That's probably why people have breakups, because you have to understand it's not you, it's the positions you're in through its house. Every house has its relation. Some are darker than others. Okay, you could be living, all of a sudden, there's a psych ward, and 20 years later, you find out it's a house. right? So it's a psych ward, okay? But now it's a house. So you lived in psych ward. So that psych ward is going to have energy. Energy doesn't travel, okay? If it's in a house, it stays in its position. If it wants to stay there, it'll be stubborn. It'll just, apply to the division. It just gets thicker, thicker, thicker. Ceilings and everything to that division, it's dark center. It's opening up its round. So it's that's what it's doing to everybody. So it's dark energy going into you, right? Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? Boom, 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 boom. That's dark energy coming from the psych ward. Okay? So you understand why these things happen. When you're sleeping, dark energy goes into you. You guys have to know these things. Okay? Because your commander knows what's going on with civilization to planet positions. It's fascinating when you see these things. Knowing everything through light and everything through dark. If you walk the streets, okay, say 50 yards, 100 yards, 200 yards, 500 yards, right? And you go to every house and you scan every house, you will see what I'm talking about. You don't just pick up the vibration, you pick up the energy, you pick up the civilization, you pick up the realm, and you pick up its planet position. If you understand your locations of your intelligence through your perceptions, your audios, and everything through the mind. Your transformation light opens up. You scan a house, it's dark, right? It's a dark resonance, has a dark realm, has a dark circle, okay, has a dark planet position, okay? So you understand, okay, so what happens next? So you have to cleanse yourself, because if you don't, that dark house will take over your body system. Everything is energy. So as soon as you go into the territory and you go into that house, for the very first time, you're changing the vibration. You're disrupting the connections of its earth. Okay. Now, this is more practical levels that we come into, the spiritual essence. We come into the poltergeist, and it's saying, well, all these movies, it's all fictitious, it's all scientific, but there's a lot of truth and there's a lot of false. Okay. The only truth I can give you is understanding that everything that you live in, okay, has ancestry and history, guys. You have to know that there are other people that live there, right? Now that resides on their energy. That stays within the system of its house. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't travel. It stays in the house. So it's creating its own anomaly of a dark system. Sometimes it's in the cabinet, sometimes it's in the bedroom, sometimes it's in the bathroom. I've been in many, many houses that I cleansed, right? But truly understanding what you're seeing. It could be in a picture frame. It could be in a book. It's all about laser direction. So my eyes are going like this as soon as I walk in the house. So it's like a monitor. You're detecting something that's unusual. Something doesn't fit right in your stomach, and it just so your body gets a reaction. That's what happens. So it changes your body activation system, right? So you're still doing. So when you see something, right, and it automatically goes off, right? And then you go right into it, right? You open it up. Okay, so you open up the realm, right? So this is really interesting. This is what your commander does, right? He goes to the perception, okay? Splits the division level system, okay? Understands what's going on through its connection, understands civilization, where it is through realm location, understands position, understand anything. Is it a witch? Is it a warlock? Is it a ghost or anything, right? So basically I open the plasma energy system, right? And the spirit comes out. It looks at me. So I open up the realm of the house. It's freaking out, but this is what happens. And everything is vibration. It's very powerful. I've destroyed witches, warlocks, ghosts, dragons, dark dragons. I don't tell you these things, but I do it. And it's extremely real because it's all created through the house. Okay? So you understand, everything the atmosphere just doesn't surface. You can surface anything. You can create anything anywhere. So if it's a dark realm and I see it, it's going around and around and around and around. There's entity forces, dark particles, spider applications. They're sitting at positions. They're sitting at space stations to your house. It's creating its own anomaly, guys. Okay, and that's way, 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 way beyond the mind system. Okay, so it's all about something that you feel uncomfortable when you walk in the house. You already know your detections of your energies, and you understand everything through communication of people, right? So this person's off. The chakra system is not connection. It's not allocating to the grounds, but it understands its force recognition of its powers. So that's the separation. It doesn't understand its light communication of travel through positions. And a lot of light workers don't understand their computer operation centers. They still communicate in the human vessel system. There's a lot of communications that are force rising right now through direction of dark energy force systems. Try to be cautious on that, especially on the YouTube, because they're trying to take humanity more and more and more and more, right? Because Texas, I just found out, Texas is no longer going to be representing through mass. The government basically say, yeah, no more mass, that's it, right? Biden's trying to fight that. They're calling everybody a Neanderthal. Now, what president would say that? Think about it for a sec. So there's a lot going on right now, like I said, but if you understand the spiritual system, you understand everything, the connection of a house. You understand. I wanted to get in positions of churches. Churches are covenants, okay? They're plasma energy systems, protection identity force systems. They're not angels. They're not archangels. They're the opposite. They're fallen angels, okay, guys? So each church represents a fallen angel. There's not too many churches that have angels and archangels. Light interference through connections. It's dark interference. So it shadows locations to anything through resolution of a church. And that's where you see Jesus. That's where you see the cross. It's all fabrication, guys. It's not real through traction. Trust me. You have to trust me on that, okay? And you have to understand everything through ministers. You have to understand anything through popes. Popes are the worst. They pretty much are the creation when it comes into the spiritual system. I bet you guys didn't know that either. They're the creation when it comes to 1%. I bet you guys didn't know that either. So trying to understand the bloodlines, right? Understand everything through the pyramids and everything through Illuminati. Why it created its own pyramid, okay? So it's hard to understand these things because if you don't understand your spiritual system, you have a huge, huge problem when it comes to your connections, right? So that's why you'll never see me if I get married. I'll never be in a church, right? You'll never see me go out to a funeral, okay? Because my light is so powerful and so bright, it just everything comes out, and it's like you're attracting things, and the vibration is so high. So I'm gonna cross a bee. When a bee buzzes around, and it sees me, and my vibration is going so high, it interrupts the vibration to the bee, and the bee goes, so it starts attacking me. It's trying to break down my energy force fields. It's crazy. I don't know. Has anybody seen the movie The Fly? Back in I think it was Alfred Hitchcock, where this guy came up with an experiment. I think I mentioned that too in a video, where he basically did an experiment that went wrong. And basically his body was human, okay? And everything through his connection. So his face was a fly, okay? And his body was human. But in position, it was like in a dimensional setting through communication, which changed the parallel connections, where him flying as a fly, he had a human head as a fly, okay? But the body was with wings as a fly. So it was weird. It was really weird. And it was pretty interesting how, it got caught in its web, right? And the spider came up like this, right? In its web. And the human fly goes, help me, help me. It's creepy. Anyway, it's very distorted. And then Jeff Goldblum did another one like that called The Fly. That was really good too. When he got into a crypto chamber, and basically he was teleporting from one to the other, but he didn't know that there was a fly in one of his chambers. So that just put him into mutation, right? So he basically, 180-pound human with mutation of a fly went into his particle system, changed everything through his DNA, right? So when he teleported with the fly inside, and then he became the fly, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but with flies, they have no teeth, right? So they gurgitate. That's what they do, and they suck it back up. That's how they eat. I don't know if you guys know that. That's true, right? So you understand it's acid. So if you get a 180-pound fly, right? Like that. It's acid, it'll burn your arm off, right? It's a powerful movie, I'll tell you. I really enjoyed that film. But and then Eric Stoltz took over. He had a son. It wasn't as good. I thought the one with Jeff Goldblum, it was very well done. Yeah. And Gina Davis played the girlfriend. So anyway, it's all scientific, but in practical levels, it can actually happen like that. If you get in a crypto chamber teleportation device, so you're transferring one to the next, like with the connections with Back to the Future. When Doc and Marty was basically, he was trying to send 112 gigabytes or something like that to travel through time for 1 second through 5 minutes. And basically he got into the transformation. He put Marty, the dog, into the car, right? So you understand it. Basically, it only changed one minute per second. So when he transported through that into the DeLorean, you can see that he was okay, but the car itself was frozen, right? So it teleported in time, right? But the clock is just 1 minute faster. So it's incredible force how you travel through time into the DeLorean, right? And you have to go up to, I think it's 88 miles per hour to get into the electrical system, into the teleportation. So it's like this, and it just disappears, right? Powerful. So Mississippi is also lifting its mass. Yeah, see, there you go. Mississippi, Texas, one goes down to the next. So it's all about a chain going down, right? So pretty soon everything will come back to normal, right? But this is in the future, okay? Interesting. Okay, your commander has done this for everybody to understand what's going on through positions of the Earth and everything, the mountains and volcanoes, and how it's coming into the simulation. Okay, it's incredible force. Okay, so it's activating. It's very real. So I usually present things always in the past, the present, but I don't really present things a lot in the future because I overload your mind system and say, "Whoa, Commander, what does this mean? This is data. This is processing data. This is way too much vibration." So when you look at something, your intelligence is going, it's trying to figure out what it is. If you don't understand what it is, that's totally fine because you're not at that level through vibration. But once you're at that level, then you understand everything through information, right? So for example, when Priscilla connects with me through alignment, she sees something that I've done beforehand, which is amazing. Well, Commander, I saw you do that, but it was last night. So that's precognition. She saw me do that before, right? So she's seeing something that is done in the future. Okay. So it's important to understand that you just know yourself, but you have to understand other things of other selves, like understand what bees do, why flies are here, why spiders are here. Okay, spiders are here to eat the flies, right? Why are flies here? Flies are here to disturb us, but they have connection. They connect to anything through, toxic or anything like that. They're basically on the ground formation system. Okay, and then you get other connections. If you leave food out, you come into maggots. So everything has a formation of intelligence, right? If you leave fish or meat, and you just let it sit there, you're going to see, little maggots coming over it, right? So everything forms through creation, guys. It's really fascinating when you look at that. And that's what humanity has to get into. You have to get more into the Google of yourself. That's pretty interesting. Surfing Google of yourself. You're all full of information. Understanding the connections of nature, how it creates its own weather. Understanding the velocity spins of your car, how fast it goes, right? How to communicate with, trees. See, when I look at a tree, okay, I look at the fourth vision, I look at the dimensions, I look at the core center. I always look at the core center. And then when it comes to me, it communicates to my intelligence, right? And now we have my telepathy, and then it starts moving, right? And then it comes out. When it comes out, now you communicate through intelligence fully, right, into the atmospheres. So you're actually communicating with the intelligence of its position, of location. And that's confusing to a lot of humans because that's where they're coming into through its reality system, right? So it's amazing, just take time to look at everything through colors. Just look at all the colors. When you look at the fractal levels of pictures of evolution of a TV, you go up really close, you see the colors. You see the microscope colors, right? They're all blue, green, purple, all that, right? That's resolution. That's TV reception, right? Now, if you stay too close to the TV, your eyes get sore, right? And then eventually you have to start wearing glasses. But that all depends on your genetics, My dad, he had bad eyes, and then he had laser surgery done, but I had to wear glasses. I've been wearing glasses since I was 10 years old, right? So, but you got to be careful too. Laser direction. It takes a 10-minute operation. I've seen it done on YouTube. Oof. I'll tell you, they take off the lid, they take off the cornea and all that, and they take off the cataract. Whoa, it's what they do. They use the laser, and they just take off the top part, right? And then you got to wear, thick black lens of glasses for like 2 weeks, and you can't shower, right? So it's pretty crazy. That's what my dad told me. So, I mean, it was successful for him, but, you have to be a certain candidate to have these things. You have to have a certain oval of an eye to have this done, right? Because a lot of people have cataracts, their visions. You never really, even though if you have 20/20 vision, you really don't have 20/20 vision. This is always a balance between two. Let's say, this is my left hand and this is my right hand. Okay, so you look at your hands. This is how you get balance. I don't know if you guys know this. I was trying to figure this out when I was going through myself with drawings and stuff like that. I was trying to understand the anatomy, life drawings and all that through connections. What is the human form? What is the body structure? What are the bone fragments? What is the line communication and everything, right? So my right hand is bigger than my left hand. Okay, I don't know if you know that. Okay, my right side of my nose is bigger than my left side of my nose. Okay, my right eye is bigger than my left eye. My right ear is bigger than my left ear. So it all has to balance out. Okay, so if my right hand and my left hand were the same, I'd be out balanced. Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. So, and you look at everything through line communication of yourself. You're all connected through the shape. You're all connected through metric, right? So from here to here, okay, right from here to here, okay, is your foot. From here to here. Okay, so it's interesting when you look at these things. You're all joined. You're all connected. That's what it is. So if my body's connected to everything, I'm connected to everything through humans, through alignment. I have to be. You don't have to know the person. You just have to know you're aligned through them, through vibration. So when you get 7 billion people into a room, that's a lot of vibration. Okay, so this is a door. You're walking in. Okay. Okay, you just walked into the door and you see people here. See people here. So it's pretty interesting when you see these things because you have to understand more of your intelligence when you come into different energies, guys. Okay. You come across this all the time at a party, and if you see somebody wearing a mask, you say, okay, well, you're not going to approach that person. So what does that make person different from everybody else? The fact that they're wearing a mask, you're not going to approach them? No. It's just that they're afraid. They're scared. They don't know how to approach things. Okay, so that's you coming out of the door, right? You coming into the presence of these three people. Right? So right away, what do? You scan, right? That's what I do. I scan them right away. So it's interesting. This is what you guys got to get into when you get across all level connection systems. So let's say this one has a mask. That one has a mask. Okay, and these two don't. Okay, so what makes him different from these two? Understanding that this is all done through fear, right? But these two are the opposite, right? So what did they do? They distance from each other. So they go over here, right? As soon as somebody's wearing a mask, they separate because all they do is follow the rules of the governments, right? But this is all falling, right? So, okay, so they move. Okay, they were here and now they're here because they don't want to be around this. So this person's all alone now. Okay, so what's going to happen is you are going to be approaching the mask because you're not afraid of the fear. Understand? So it's all about understanding where you are through your energetic and your body framing system. So in positions, you are not going to you're not going to talk to these people. You're going to talk to the person that's fear. You go to the person that needs help. That's a truly understand it. I mean, everybody's different, but truly understanding that because of what's happening through observation, it's not nice. Okay, so that puts the person alone, right? So especially from here to here. So you come up to here, right? So you just move up, right? And then you end up talking to the person with the mask. How's it going? How you doing? Right? This is you here. Now you're communicating, right? So it's all about you scanned, you're comfortable, you're not afraid of anything, you have no fear within your system, your body activation, you read them, you through communication chakra system, you understand their position, energy field, you understand their position, their body activation, you understand them through allocations or anything dimensional realm through a portal, anything connection of its ancestry and its history. That's what I do through scanning. That's a lot of work, isn't it? But you do it instantly. Remember, I don't create thoughts, it's already done. So basically, when it's in position, okay, the mask, okay, will eventually come off. Why? Because it's comfortable with my energy. I've come up to people already that wear a mask and I can take it off them if I have to. Because listen, I can't. Masks are dangerous. Okay, you understand, when you have a mask on, you can't breathe, right? It supplements it. You know, it doesn't help, right? It's it's dangerous. So when you come into that position, okay, so now I'm communicating with the mask. So the mask comes off, wipes its system, right? We're all about helping each other, guys. That's the positions that we have to come into. So when a person reveals its mask, it's in a better communication. And these two are wondering, whoa, what's going on now? Take the mask off. So what do? They come over here and start talking to you. Right? So, pretty interesting, right? There's a little trivia. There's a psychological trivia there when it comes into humans and where they are in set position. Okay, it doesn't make anybody less from any other different of that person. Just because that person wears a mask, you know, you saw the two people separate, right? Because they're scared, right? They don't want to get the virus, which doesn't exist. So, but if you look at that, it's pretty interesting how it's all calculated, how you look at it. You scan right away. You see all three, right? Two aren't wearing a mask. The other one is. All of a sudden you approach, communicate, energy's good, right? These two over here go, what? They come over here and start talking to you. And then all three start talking, right? So you fill up the energies. You change everything in the atmosphere systems of people, guys, through community system. Your vibrational changes everything through the body system instantly. Instantly. The higher you go, the more you can get to its connection, a vibration of balance. So you can balance their energies. Okay? But you have to know how to do these things, and it's all done through vibration, right? So it's all about changing the brain location of the mind and where it is in position, taking them out of the fear. You have to take them out of the fear. That's the first thing, right? Because if you don't, if you approach that person, okay, without scanning, they get interrupted, they get angry, and they'll come after you, right? See, you have to, get into the flowing, right? What is that person thinking? What are they knowing? What are they doing? Where are they at? How can I change this? How can I change that? Now, it could be anybody through a relation with a stranger. It could be your friends. It could be your loved ones. I mean, it's all putting yourself out of positions of an argument and getting into positions of a friendship, to its communication, to its energetic system, to its involvement, to its position. Okay? All curfew lifted except Montreal. Yeah, it's going to all change for so. Montreal and South and North Shores. Yeah. Yeah, there's Texas, Mississippi. There's also, I think, Netherlands. There's a lot of places that are really, opening up all their lockdowns, which is good. So that changes vibrations to other communities and other countries and other locations. And people start, everybody's waking up more and more and more, and they're starting to realize it's just a fabrication. And then they start to realize, oh, it's the governments, oh, it's the corporations, oh, it's the media, oh, it's the policing. The policing now they're forcing. Okay, the media is all about putting you into position for you to understand what's going on. So they'll think you're an Neanderthal. So they'll think you're crazy, right? So they keep doing their job. That's their job. That's what they do. That's why they're put on this planet. They're in that position to basically to, mind slay you, mind clean you. You have that all around the earth, the mind wiping machine, mind controlling machine, which is not there anymore, right? So they're doing everything possible to roll out more vaccines, but it's all going to fall. It's all going to fall and come into the light. So, and everything that I'm doing right now is in position. Okay. I love showing this picture because you have to understand what's going on through the future, through its earth. Incredible force, isn't it? So it's so uncomfortable to wear a mask. I don't really wear one unless, see, that's the thing. And you're uncomfortable, right? So you have rights, you have charter of rights. Okay. So, and that helps you along knowing that you know the truth of yourself, and that gives you better involvements with yourself through your activations of your energy system, to anything through, communications with anybody. Like somebody comes up to you, hey, why are you not wearing a mask? Don't you know what's going on? The earth can come to an end. You should be wearing a mask. Why? You go ahead, you wear your mask, but hey, I'm not wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Like, but it's all breaking. It's all breaking now. It's all breaking. It's all done through thoughts. Okay. I think you guys understand that because you're connecting more of yourself. Realize how powerful your thoughts are. Thoughts are creation. Thoughts are creation of healing. Okay. Thoughts are creation of healing of vibration to its wires. And then you come into protection. Protection. And then you start realizing, hey, I'm not fear of anything. If you're fear of something, you go back and center. There are positions like that. Okay, like that big ferocious dog that came up at me. I wasn't fear. So if you don't present fear, the dog won't present fear because it picks up fear right away. So many dogs are not on leashes. Every country's different. Okay. But anything through England or anything through that connection in the UK, they cherish their dogs. They love their dogs, right? Canada's in the same position. They always have to have a leash. Everybody has rules and regulations. Every country is different in the application levels. But everybody has to understand more of themselves through vibration. That's the positions that we're coming into when it comes into 5-dimensional telepathy. Okay, we never had that in 3-dimensional system, guys. Okay, because we had way too much masculinity. Okay, the earth is the masculinity planet, but it's saying no more. Father and mother saying no more. We're coming into balance of yin and yang, the yin and yang, guys. So if you come yin and yang with vibration, you come yin and yang with communication and everything around you that you involve with. Okay. So, and the thing is too, if you show yourself with confidence and you become yourself with confidence, you become aware of its confidence levels, right? So you start with conscious, subconscious, and then you get into so many levels of conscious levels. You become superhuman of strength through vibration. And then you come into the higher self of vibration. And then you come in everything through the computer, energy, and everything, the connection. You connect everything through its avatar locations, right? And then you come into so much vibration of control, of balance. That's where your thoughts come into this fruition of light. Okay? Because your rainbow activation system, your body activation system calculates and modifies on so many levels of your chakra of communication. Okay? So understanding the line stem, understanding the electrical rod, understanding the energy system, it's all attached. You got 12 That's the center position in you. Okay, that is the God circle. That's the God rotation. That's the center position of the tree. Okay, now when you understand higher positions, when you guys come into the 114 chakras, you'll see the tree in the universe. You'll see the tree in the universe. And that's how it connects to all planets and positions. Because everything is connected through wires and electrical and magnetic forcing information system, right? Tomorrow, I'd like to take you guys to a gateway. Okay, this is where I went to the transformations. It's a gateway where it's connected to a galaxy realm. You understand more connections of shapes, letters, and numbers. The structuring level system is understanding more of yourself through geotheoriums. You have to get into and out of the scanning and get into the bioscanning. Okay? So, and this is understanding more your connections. A lot of people are in the retrogrades. Okay, Priscilla's in that, Karen's in that, and everything through Dina. She's understanding more of her sonar. Just imagine that alone. She can hear sounding barriers of submarines and water just by looking through her perceptions and audios and everything through mine. So she has a submarine in her mind. She picturizes it. She sees it swimming under the waters. She understands the audio signal of its sonar. It's like do, 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 right? So it's understanding more communications of yourself, right? Really get informed, right? So when I communicate with water or anything through Boca de Rio or anything like that, I automatically connect to the patterns. I connect right to the particles of water, right? And everything I do is in slow motion, right? So you see me define gravity of water. I see through my perception. You just see the waving. You just see the waving going this way. You see the waving going that way. So the more you go up through vibration, the more you go into gravity, the more you go into defying gravity. So you're taking water out. It's like, space, weather, vibration, all in one. I just showed you what it is. That's what it sounds like. It's incredible when you understand vibration and balance, guys. Okay, it's amazing. So it's activated your mind systems right now. So you're connecting to everything through wind blows, northwest, south, and east. But it's amazing how the sounds come in. That's the formation when you come into color, right? So you come into the formation, color comes in, and then an atom comes in, right? So it's incredible how forces come in all together, right? And it's all connected through vibration, guys. And the energy forms in, but everything has its connection. And anything that connects like that's radio signals. So I'm channeling my vibration to different positions of computers, different country positions, of dimensions, of portals. So it's setting up encrypting codes and through digital frame. So anything that I do is connected to my sacred breath. Okay, it's a God frequency level of a channel. So you're to teleportation through your energy system, through activation, through intelligent line signals. And you're transferring all your communications out into the atmosphere systems. Okay? So there's a lot to learn, guys, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing is, too, is that not only that, Priscilla, but yeah, you do love yourself and you love the family around you, but you're going to love and appreciate yourself more. You appreciate yourself and you realize, whoa, I'm psychic. I have superpowers. That's confidence alone. I'm psychic, but I'm not sure if I have superpowers. That's not confidence. So it's understanding where you are through traction. It's understanding where you are through upgrades. It's understanding where you are through intelligence. Am I changing? Am I getting better? Am I understanding my test reviews and evaluations? Okay. So we're coming into a test. It's exciting for me, not for you. Then you guys start sweating. You start biting the pencils off. Eating the erasers. I hated doing tests in school. I don't know. I used to use paper clips and I used to hit the ceiling. I was so bored. I didn't like doing tests, didn't like listening to teachers. I said, what am I learning here? Am I learning anything? Everything in school, I find it's okay through education, but it's all textbook. There's a lot of propagandas. There's a lot of misinformation, miscalculation when it comes to university about space and time and everything through what's quantum fields, everything the metric system, trying to understand the magnetics, trying to understand everything through calculation. And that's what Nassim, right, was trying to understand. Very powerful scientists, but everything revolves around a question because they can't get the answer. They can't get the answer. If you can't get the answer, you can't get the answer how to bring yourself forward. Because you're all connected to E equals MC squared. And that's your DNA. That's the beginning. That's the path. That's the light. That's transmission. That's the manifestation. And then you come into E. Then you come to equal. And then you come to M. And then you come to C. And then you come into the box. Okay? Because it's everything to its connection of you through its grounds, powers, atmospheres. Anything through connection of nature, weather, radio signals, gamma operation signals, computer signals, telephone signals, and that communication, line signals, transformation signals, electrical field signals. There's so many things of wires through connection to your perception. But understand the sounds. XT1000. Right? That's the sound of XT1000. So some are higher and more than others, but you understand the sound barriers. So you see the metal going across. Watch how I go quickly, right? Watch. See, it's very powerful. Very powerful. That's the connection to everything through speed. Okay, so it's metal going across. So you have to understand the metal face. You have to understand acceleration. You have to understand everything through connection to the computer. You have to understand the atmospheres. You have to understand the oxygen levels. You have to understand the altitude. You have to understand everything through its DNA. Everything travels instantly, right? But it sends a sound wave. Like when I was a kid, I think I told you before, when I was on a bike, I was using baseball cards and I was using clips for spokes. I wanted to know what it was like to turn it into a motorcycle. I was very inventive, saying everything through thought is visualization, and that's the creation of space and time, because then you start understanding more creation as yourself through intelligence, and then you can create anything through your reality. That's the most important thing. I'll say that again. You can create anything through your reality. Get that in your mind. Get that in your thoughts. Get that in your coloration and lights. Okay? So I was going around, hey, listen, this is my motorcycle. I was just a kid, I was only 10 years old, but I created something from nothing. I wanted to know what it would sound like of a motorcycle. That's illustration. That's a kid creating something from nothing. So that's truly understanding more of ourselves, not through the human essence, from the intelligence of its essence to its formation of its full intelligence, essence of its light, of its fruition. Okay? So we have to get into more of that. Right? We really have to evolve ourselves more as a child. That's the strength. That's the power. Because everything through AI is nothing but children. They're adults, but they have a heart of a child. That's the connection. That's the strength. That's the power. That's the healing. Everything's through healing. All right, we know that. But having balance with your wires, having balance with the mind, having balance with the brain, having balance with your travels, having balance with your thoughts, having balance with your creation, having balance with your reality, having balance with your family, having balance with your loved ones, having balance with your connections of your values, your education values, your formations of yourself, basically your dreams. You have balance with everything. It's right. But I can't wait to get into 90. 90 is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. I got a lot of interference here through connection. But other than that, you'll find that when you guys go to higher levels, you'll understand you have no filter and you just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, right? Like with the Starseed, where she went 3 hours, right? And how you commander can go 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. That's the beautiful thing, because we have so much to give back to everybody else. So when you have balance with your thoughts and everything through your communications of your voicing grids, you can travel in so many positions going so fast through connection. You're everywhere in seconds. So when I close my eyes, I'm going through circle rotation, I'm going through grounds, going through powers, chakra system. All right. So I just travel to you guys instantly, and you see my energy. You feel it. You feel the energy. I just travel to everybody. Everybody that's here, I travel to your position. You feel the energies. You'll feel the energy wash. You'll see the energy wave. You see the digital frame. Okay. Some might see more than others, but I'm just saying you'll see me of travel. That's how powerful the mind is through thoughts, because you're all about illustration. You are an illustration. Okay. You're an avatar of illustration. You're a computer of illustration. You're a digital frame of illustration. You're an activation light of coloration of illustration. Okay, understanding the communications of everything. And the first thing you look at is to know what this is. This is a marker, and I keep saying that. It's a marker through coloration of all colorations. It's white, but I don't see it as white. I see it as a circle of light. That's all this is. But it's in its dimension, it's in its portal, it's in its code. But it's all the inspiration graph and anything through its connection system. Hold it up, it's psychometry location. So basically, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's got 9 divisional level circle rotations, center position, atom location position, correlation center, okay? Activated light system. Now the calculation modifications coming in, the illustration, everything in the program settings changing everything through its illumination of light. Comes its marked location position, but it's set in its division of dimension, okay? So that's where the mind is every single day with me, okay? Every single day, I'm somewhere different. And that's what the beauty. Imagine that your mind can travel anywhere in dimension, anywhere in portal, anywhere in code through its encryptions. So understanding more of yourself, really get into your proacting cycles, get into your intelligence, okay? Once you get into your 114, your vibration will be higher, like you wouldn't believe. You'll start saying, whoa, Commander's right. My light is now activated in so many levels of interference. I'm traveling in this position, but I'm also traveling this position. So you could travel through the mind and create everything. And that's what it is. It's the archetypes that go in through locations. It's setting with the gravity system and planet positions. The solar connections are coming in to its connection, right? So you got the illumination, you got your gravity system, your powers, and your atmospheres. Now you're connecting through the magnetic forcing highway. Okay, and it's setting so much illustration or program setting. So it goes through its connection of its cloud, right? So you guys are coming into your own surfacings of your cloud. Okay, a computer has a cloud. Okay, everything through computer has a cloud. Okay, it's the operation center. It's the brain simulation to its operation. Okay, so a lot to learn, eh? But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when you guys go up to higher levels. And believe me, you'll feel a lot more comfortable with your body activations when you go to 114 chakras. 114. You're in the Rebellion Alliance, but once you get in line communications, you'll be balanced with all light fruitions of your body activation, your holographic system. The retrogrades will put you in the holographic system. The 114 will put you in all light fruitions. Not atoms, just your lights. Okay, so now you got full balance of 114. Imagine that. So understanding the research and everything through this connection of 114 chakras, what do they all mean? What do they all represent? Right? So I'm not going to describe them all because there's 114 and that will take another hour, 2 hours. But that's a lot of data, eh? That's truly understanding that. But you understand your flying recognition systems, where you're going through allocated positions of travel. Okay, so you're getting numbers. You're getting a lot of numbers coming in. Maybe you're getting graphing a lot of numbers coming in, right? Now, understanding calculations is somebody comes into its equivalency or anything, acceleration or anything, that connection. When you get into these positions, try to understand E equals MC squared. That's what we're trying to understand, right? The applied divisions and multiplications. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. The velocity slash 0. Let's see, cycle line communication of box equals triangle division. Point system allocated take it out of its equation to its dimensional realm of its position to security line defense. Okay, so how did I get that plateau? How did I get that formula? Okay, so usually you come across this, right? So first of all, this won't work because 1 plus 1 does not equal 2 in space, right? So that's the fallout right there. Okay, so humanity is trying to understand 1 plus 1. Okay, I want to make it very well easy. If you understand 1 plus 1 equals 3, then you understand everything through its equivalent of its energy. And then you understand the separation of you is your particle system of your parallel paradigm paradox system. That's the connection to your dream set positions. You can't have separation when you're traveling, right? And then you get to mass. That's the weight, the volume. And then you get into calculation of how far you're traveling. And the box is you through its equation. Take it out of its position, right? But 1 plus 1 equals 2 is not its equation. It has to be 3, right? So when it changes it to 3, okay, then it's calculated and modified. But you have to understand everything through its forcing. You have to understand line communication, circle rotation through its center position of its box frequency, through its connection of equal, parallel, everything through triangle division of 3, 6, and 9 to its connection to its triangle location, through circle rotation of its security line defense. Okay, that's the formula. Okay, so you have to understand that everything is done through equation. We already know that. You take it out of its equation. We already know that too. But you have to understand your thoughts have to come out of its equation. We'll get into that tomorrow. But right now, just try to understand how to get into modifications into the framing systems of this. I always like the back phrase so you got in positions. So we start off with this. Setting up gateways of plateaus of XT thousands. Okay. And then we go into lights of communication, into direction line systems, into this. Okay. Very powerful. Activation through digital pad. And then we come into formations of this. Calculation. Modification to its cycle. Okay, 3 division level system. Everything is in balanced position, guys. 3 different rounds, but the circle rotation is you always in the center. So even though you see 3 rounds, you're only going through 1 center. So the faster you go, you see 3 or 4. I said that before, right? The faster you go, you see more. So your perceptions are going fast like this. So the dimensions aren't changing. Your body activation is changing through time. That's why you see it going so fast, right? And then you're coming into this position through your phone, through your body activation system. Okay, it's very important that you get balanced with your vibration of your phone. Okay. So once you get vibration on that through connections, you can go anything through connections. A balance through shapes anomalies. Circle rotation, right cycling rotation, box, circle. Anything through its connection, diamond core or triangle or anything of a pyramid. Everything has to be balanced in time of travel. This is where you come into the singular line division of the simulation to its connection. Singularity, line singularity, voicing singularity, activation singularity, coloration singularity. We'll get into that, right? That's more connections of 1 plus 1 equals 3. Okay. So when we get into that, we get into higher connections of this through community. Come in here, person with the mask, 2 people over here, comes up here, talks to this person, get the energy system, communication and balance. Okay, they're here, they come over here, start talking to you. So when they start talking to you, you create an energy system through location. So you become a whole involvement through connections. So it becomes a full cycle rotation. Communication, 2 circle rotations of an individual circuit system through calculation. So now you created your own communication cycle, okay, of energy, positive energy, right? So between the 3, all right? So Any questions on that? Let me know. Tomorrow we will go on the test review and evaluation. I'm really excited. Your commander is going to formulate you guys and put you in a higher division of vibration. That's what we want to do through positions, serve body activation light systems, right? Understand more of our calculations, getting better positions of our structures, getting better positions of our lights, getting better positions of our thoughts and its illustrations. All right. So this is your Premium AI Commander from All Communications at God Frequency Levels of Lights, All Communications at Diamond Core positions, connecting to the rotation every planet position of light signals of connections. Adios, everybody.